Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and today I am back with a... It's a new figure to me, but it's a re-release of a figure that came out a while ago, and that doesn't even really fit that in there, but this is the Professor X re-release that came out originally in, like, 2018, I believe, 2017. Uh, Let me just kind of move that forward, that one. And then this is also the way with the Deadpool and the Moped. I do still kind of want that, but I mean, it's not something I'm hugely, really wanting. But very happy to have this. Missed out on it when it originally dropped, and I've been I've been scouring for it for on and off again for a couple years. And then I finally found it on Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I ordered mine from. Which, let me just say, I pre-ordered this thing in October, along with the movie Wolverine, and the movie Wolverine made it here in January. It's April now. So as you can tell, Big Bad Toy Store, like, don't get me wrong, I get that everyone's, shipment kind of came in kind of a little what's the word I'm thinking of? A little slow, but Big Bad Toy Store just kind of a little extra slow. But I did already open the figure, but I didn't put it together yet because I wanted to share that experience with you guys. And by experience, I mean hearing me cuss out this, paraplegic man and his, wheelchair. So, gonna start off with, putting the chair into this. I believe that's how that goes. I don't know how this goes. I definitely know this part goes back here. Were there instructions? Probably. Did I care to look? No. Ooh. Oh, now we're cooking with meth. There we go. Pretty cool. And then I think this just lays on top of him, if I'm not mistaken. Like, just kind of goes like that, and then just kind of folds around him. There's, damn it. Shit. Come on, just fit. Come on. Ooh, there's a click. There we go. And I do know that I'm getting, cussing over a child's toy. Do I really care? Not fully. But, there's that. And then, like I said, I think it kind of just snugly fits in there. And then you just, pop and... Oh, now it's just in there. Cool. But, cool. It's still pretty cool, if you ask me. Like, decently sized. Like, I mean, Professor X is just a, standard 6-inch figure. And, him next to it, I mean, not bad. I mean, truthfully, kind of pointless. I mean, I shouldn't say pointless because he does kind of walk. Like, he's been walking just as long as he's been, doing everything else. But anyway, before I get on to the figure, let's go on to the detailing of this. Like, I do like the yellow, and I do like all the detailing around it. I do think a black wash on it would have been, better, especially with this being the second time they've done it. And if I remember correctly from one of the things, there was like a keypad or something that you could open, if I remember correctly from the box, which... But, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is something right there. I don't know how to open it. Oh, it's just a slide off. Okay. I was thinking you had to pull it off, but anyway. Very cool detailing right there. And it does kind of look like they put a silver wash over a couple of those things, which is pretty cool. Really, really awesome. Going on to this side. Very cool red button. And I mean, there is a lot of detailing in that seat too. Like, there's even like the wrinkles of the cushion. That's pretty sick. And especially with the back of the chair, you can actually see that it looks like leather. That's pretty cool. And like, this effect piece, pretty cool. I mean, it kind of does look a little bit like an Iceman piece as well. So if you wanted to, use this for like ACBA or something, just because you don't even really need that, you can just basically have it like that, and it still works just the same. This just kind of gives it that little extra, realistic vibe to it, which still phenomenal. And not much else other than it not fully being put together, because the person who made it, and by made it, I mean put it together in the first place, is kind of an idiot. Yes, I mean me. But still pretty awesome. Very happy with it. And then going on to like his little blanket that goes over his legs. Like, I mean, this is still well done as well. Very, very cool. Not too much to say about it, just because it is kind of a bit basic, but yeah. And then going on to the accessories he comes with. He does come with a Shadow King, I believe his name is. Like I mentioned, I'm not huge onto X-Men, but this basically goes on the Kingpin body if you bought the Kingpin. Like the Build-A-Figure one at the time. Pretty cool. His glasses are removable, from what it seems like. I'm not going to take them off, just because, you know, don't really care to. And then, you know, I do love his fez. Fez? Yeah, fez. I was thinking he was either fez or fedora. And then his tiny glasses, which are pretty cool. Those are also, I think I mentioned they're removable already. And then this really cool effect piece, his Cerebro, and you know, brainwave effect, which they do come off. So if you just want him displayed with only Cerebro on, you can. And then, you know, just this really cool looking effect piece. And all it does is just basically just port into the back like so. Again, the person who is putting this together is kind of an idiot. So, but yeah, pretty awesome. Now, going on to Professor X himself. He did not come with any alternate hands, which little downside of this, just because I feel like, you know, at least giving him some, like, at least another relaxed hand rather than, you know, I got a booger up my nose type hand, you know? I know it's more like think, and then, you know, his hand's supposed to go out like that. But, you know, kind of wish they would have given him, like, you know, a set of, like, you know, like another, you know, of this hand, and maybe like a fist or something. I don't know, for when he's like, "No, Scott," or something. I don't know. I never really watched the X-Men a ton, but he's pretty basic. He's on a suited body, which was used for the Chameleon from the Rhino wave. Basic articulation, I will say. And sadly, this is one that does have the, you know, pins in the joint, but it's a re-release of that figure, so can't get too mad at them. I still hate these small feet. Like, that's as far as it goes back. That's as far as it goes forward. It does have a double-jointed knee, which kind of pointless for a Professor X figure, because he's going to be sitting the entire time. Waist swivel, which pretty cool. Upper leg. Upper thigh cut, which is also very awesome. He does have an ab crunch, which, you know, can't really go back too far, but he can go forward amazing. He does have double jointed elbows, which awesome. He does have a wrist swing, you know, wrist joint, and it does go full 360. Speaking of full 360, arm goes full 360, and it doesn't go out very far. Like, that's as physically high as I can get it without making it seem like it's going to break. But for some reason, this arm is going up higher than this one, so I don't know if, like, there's just a little extra plastic on this one or something, but, I mean, you know, not terrible. Let me just say, going on to the head sculpt, though. Very cool head sculpt. I think this was, like, the first one, and then they gave us another one with the, what was it, House of X? Powers of X? Not Mr. Fantastic. Professor X, I mean. Pretty cool, though. And that's basically all I have for articulation for him, so let me just get him with a couple comparisons. The first comparison I'm going to do is with the only other Professor X I have in my collection, and that is the Patrick Stewart one, which my friend Optima Awesome gave me about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. Like, originally we were just trading for Beta Ray Bill and Loki from the Hulk Build-A-Figure wave, for those of you who remember that one. But he also did throw in the 2-pack, like, brand new, with Professor X and Magneto, which, let me just say, still a very cool 2-pack, and, you know, this was my only Professor X for the longest time, but now I finally have him, and I want to see what he looks like in the chair, just because of the fact that, don't really know if I want him displayed like this, because I just really wanted the comic accurate, you know. And I mean, he does look very good in that. And I mean, if you want to, do movie based, you can just pop that head off. And hopefully this one fits. I mean, I can already tell that the skin tone's not going to match, but and it does fit pretty well from what it looks like. And there we go. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really show it. I mean, it does show it kind of a bit, but the neck is definitely darker than the head. But, for those of you who wanted to, try it, there you go. And here he is again in his chair. And for the rest of the review, I'm going to be putting in this just because this is also kind of, I'll compare wheelchairs too. Like, I mean, this one's definitely huge compared to it. I mean, like, width-wise, definitely tremendous amount of difference. Height-wise, also tremendous amount of difference. But, still an amazing figure. Really happy with it. And for comparisons, the first one I'm going to do is next to his longtime rival, Magneto. And this Magneto is personally one of my favorite ones that I'm about to show. This is the X-Men 97 one. This is actually the first one I ever picked up from the 97 line. And I mostly got it just because I needed a, comic-accurate Magneto. And let me just say, love how these two scale next to each other. This is exactly how I imagine them. So perfect. And then going on to the next couple comparisons. Here he is next with a couple of the original X-Men. Here we have the X-Men 97 Cyclops, which, fully honest, one of the best Cyclops I think I've ever, gotten. And it's also the coolest one in my collection out of all the Cyclopses I've got. And here he is next to the Jean Grey, also from X-Men 97. And again, picked her up just because I didn't have a Jean. And then going on to another comparison of a Cyclops that I accidentally left on my shelf. Here he is next to the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops, which this Cyclops is another one of my favorites. It's a badass one. And then this is a comparison that, I just need to see just because I know this is a very short figure. This is the Juggernaut Wave Wolverine next to him, and let me just say, I know Wolverine's a short character, but I feel like he should be just a smidge, and I repeat, a smidge taller than Professor X, and let me just say, this does it perfectly. And this is still my favorite Wolverine in my collection. This was the first Wolverine, and it's still my favorite. And now going on to the last two comparisons I wanted to see, just because, Professor X is not just part of the, X-Men. He's also part of, the Illuminati. So here he is next to the Walgreens exclusive Mr. Fantastic. And I don't hate this figure, but I hate his feet. Because they either move too far forward or not, far enough back. And then next to the, what wave was it? Puff Adder wave? Iron Man? I don't remember what the armor is at the moment. I know it's the one that was used in Civil War. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But the iconic outfit that he wore when he was part of the Illuminati. Oops. But yeah, very awesome figure. Very, very happy to finally have one in my collection that's comic accurate. And now I can give the movie one a rest. Not like he really needed it because he's been in a chair for 4 years. But, still very happy with this. And I know I didn't show, him sitting in the chair. But, I'll pause the video and, go do that real quick. And here he is in his chair, and as you can see, he's kind of mind controlling my little you know, Hydra dude right here, into Kurt Cobaining himself. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, pretty awesome figure. Very happy with it. Not much else to say. Like, it is, you know, a re-release of a figure that we did get, which, I mean, you know, very happy that they did, just because, you know, people like me who missed out on the original one. But yeah. Anyway, if you guys did like this video, leave a comment down below. If you do want to see more videos, just leave a comment down below as well. And yeah, without any further ado, follow me on Instagram at uncle_carnage. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you who watch my videos. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.